there's a new sheriff in town. Yeah, he said, it's my league now.
Yeah.
He said, you had your turn. Larry Bird, you had your turn. Now it's my league.
I love it.
We all
LeBron James and Kevin Durant thought they were just having fun on a podcast, until their comments about Michael Jordan lit up the entire basketball world. When Magic Johnson caught wind of it, he wasn't about to let that slide. This is the moment an NBA legend stepped up to protect Jordan's legacy and turned a friendly conversation into a full-on generational showdown. These aren't just the kind of moments that happen on the court with game winners or buzzer beaters. No, this one came from the quiet spaces between competition, where superstars drop their guards and speak from the heart. It happened on July 9th, 2025, a date that instantly went down in basketball gossip history. What started as an innocent chat turned into a storm so wild it reignited a 2-decade-long debate about who truly owns the title of the greatest of all time.
I don't usually talk trash, but I had to that time. So I said, Michael, if you don't turn into Air Jordan, we're gonna blow y'all out. Man, he started sweating.
It was hard.
Tongue went long. You gotta get his back. You gotta get his ass. So and get him back. So I threw it to him. He scored. They come back, they scored. We scored. So we were talking stuff. So finally, we got on a little run.
Kevin Durant was chilling in the studio with LeBron James and Steve Nash for an episode of Mind the Game, LeBron's own podcast where elite basketball minds break down the grind, mindset, and pressure of staying great. Everything was going smooth, jokes flying, stories flowing, and then came that one topic every veteran eventually faces: recommitment. It's that brutal question that hits even the best. Do I still want this life? The endless travel, pain, criticism, the pressure to stay legendary. The room got quiet for a second. And that's when Kevin Durant leaned forward and said something that instantly broke the internet. That one comment flipped the energy from friendly banter to pure chaos. Fans started choosing sides, legends began weighing in, and what KD said next would make even the calmest players lose their cool. Every so often you think like, yeah, I'm 10, 12 years in. I've got 4 MVPs, 4 rings, but do I still want to keep doing this? You know what I mean? Durant said. Some people say I want to go play baseball and then want to come back. Some want to play 22 straight. It sounded casual, almost philosophical, but to anyone who knows basketball history, that line hit different. That wasn't just random talk. It was a sharp, subtle jab dressed up as deep reflection. Everyone listening knew exactly who he was hinting at. Because let's be honest, there's only one man in the entire history of the NBA who ever walked away from the game to play baseball. Only one who traded in his sneakers for a bat and a minor league jersey. And that man is Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the face of greatness itself. The reaction in that studio said it all. LeBron James burst out laughing, a deep, contagious laugh that witnesses compared to a Dave Chappelle storyteller moment. It wasn't just any laugh. It was the kind that says, I know exactly what you just said, and I can't believe you went there. The air got thick instantly, because right there, in that room, 2 of basketball's biggest modern icons were sharing a moment. One that came off like a private inside joke at the expense of the man who built the throne they've been trying to claim for years. But here's where it got real. What they probably didn't expect was the storm that comment would unleash. Because that baseball reference, it wasn't just about Jordan switching sports. It poked at one of the most heartbreaking chapters in his entire life. See, back in July 1993, right after Jordan's 3rd straight championship, tragedy struck. His father, James Jordan, was taken from him during a carjacking in North Carolina. And James wasn't just Michael's dad. He was his rock, his guide, his biggest supporter from day one. When MJ left the NBA, it wasn't just about chasing baseball dreams. It was about grief, healing, and escaping the unbearable spotlight for a while. And by touching that moment, even unintentionally, Durant and LeBron stepped into something much deeper than they realized. The loss of his father broke Michael Jordan in ways the world could never truly understand. So when MJ stood before reporters on October 6, 1993, announcing his retirement and saying he'd lost the desire to compete, only those close to him knew what that really meant. This wasn't about basketball, it was about heartbreak, grief, and a son trying to keep his father's spirit alive. Here's what everyone seems to forget when they turn that story into memes or casual jokes. James Jordan always dreamed his son would be a baseball player. Long before the sneakers, the highlight reels, the championships, it was baseball that connected father and son.
And if you ask me who I would take between Kevin Durant and LeBron James, that's a very complicated question, because one loves attending them Diddy parties, and the other one is a snake that defends himself with Twitter burner account. Those boys are trying their hardest, jumping from super team to super team, trying to catch up to my 6 rings. But we all know it's never gonna happen.
So when Michael Jordan put pen to paper with the Chicago White Sox, when he suited up for the Birmingham Barons and hit .202 across 127 games in AA, he wasn't running away from basketball. He was running towards something his dad never got to witness. One last tribute, one final thank you to the man who shaped him. And that's the part everyone in that podcast studio missed completely. That's the emotion hiding behind Durant's "some people want to go play baseball" line. To fans who knew the full story, it didn't sound like lighthearted banter. It sounded like someone stepping into sacred territory without realizing how deep it ran. The internet didn't take long to explode. Within hours, the clip was everywhere. On Twitter, basketball fans were at war. Jordan loyalists and LeBron defenders clashed like it was Game 7 of the finals. Comments flew nonstop, receipts were posted, and the timelines turned into digital battlefields. Some said KD was just being reflective, joking about how every athlete eventually faces burnout and reinvention. But others saw it as pure shade, a slick way of diminishing Jordan's story to prop up LeBron's Iron Man legacy. Then came one viral post that cut deeper than all the rest. It didn't just question KD's intentions, it exposed the emotional line they might have crossed without even realizing it. Some people's fathers get murdered and go play baseball. Those words hit the internet like a punch to the chest. They hung in the digital air, raw and heavy, a brutal reminder of what this whole debate was really about. It wasn't just GOAT talk anymore. It was about respect, about knowing the full story before turning someone's pain into a punchline. And of course, it didn't take long for the sports world's loudest voice to jump in. Skip Bayless, never one to back down from controversy, came out swinging. He called Durant's comment pathetic, claiming it exposed both KD's ignorance and insecurity. Then he turned his aim at LeBron, blasting his laugh as disgusting. Now, normally that kind of outrage from Skip might sound dramatic, but this time a lot of people agreed with him, because this wasn't just about a missed detail or a bad joke. What was really lost here was sensitivity, empathy, and perspective. People forgot what made Michael Jordan's story so powerful in the first place. Yeah, he stepped away from basketball. Yeah, he tried baseball. But then he came back stronger than ever. 3 more championships, 3 finals MVPs, and that iconic 72-10 season in 1995-96 that still stands as one of the greatest ever. Jordan didn't just dominate, he redefined what dominance meant. He didn't build his legacy on playing the most seasons. He built it by being untouchable when it mattered the most. 6 finals, 6 rings, 0 losses. That's not longevity. That's perfection under pressure. But here's the twist that sent the internet spinning again. KD's line, "Some people want to play baseball," was suddenly being compared to LeBron's 2-decade run, as if Jordan lacked the same fire or dedication. Fans started arguing that LeBron's Iron Man streak made him more committed, but critics fired back hard. Jordan's era wasn't about survival, it was about supremacy. As that July clip kept going viral, the debates got louder, memes got crueler, and the think pieces multiplied. People started tagging Durant nonstop, demanding answers. And finally, the Phoenix Suns star couldn't stay silent any longer. He logged onto X and dropped a post that stopped everyone mid-scroll, his attempt to clear the air once and for all. MJ retired 3 times and he's still the GOAT. We applaud that, just like we applaud someone playing 22 years at an elite level. It's okay to call that out, my brother, Kevin Durant wrote on X, trying to calm the storm. He even added that he was a massive Jordan fan, bragging about owning over $1 million worth of MJ sneakers to prove it. But by then, the internet had already made up its mind. The damage was done. His clarification came off like pure backpedaling, an attempt to close Pandora's box after the chaos had already escaped. Because here's the truth, you can't undo a laugh that millions of fans already saw. You can't explain away a moment that looked, sounded, and felt disrespectful. And what made this moment so explosive was who said it. This wasn't some random podcast host fishing for clicks. This was LeBron James, the man whose entire legacy has lived in the shadow and spotlight of Michael Jordan comparisons. And beside him sat Kevin Durant, the superstar often accused of ring chasing and hopping from team to team for easy titles.
I'm sure you guys got more out of the practices than you got
Yeah,
actually playing.
You're right. We practice, man. When you got 10 egos out on that court like
Best
that.
in the world.
Yes, going at each other every single day.
Two of the greatest players of their generation caught laughing over the legacy of the greatest of all time. It was a visual that basketball fans weren't ready to forgive. To make things even wilder, MJ himself reportedly dropped some sarcastic comments about both of them, a reminder that the king of competitive pettiness still had his edge. The stage was officially set for something way bigger than anyone expected, because if there's one thing history has taught us, it's that when you come for the king, you better not miss. And in the days that followed, the response was electric. The basketball world wasn't just reacting, it was erupting. This wasn't simple backlash, it was a generational war. The Jordan versus LeBron debate, which had simmered quietly for years, suddenly exploded back into the spotlight with more heat than ever before. Former players who had stayed silent for decades, diplomatic, cautious, choosing peace, finally snapped. They were done watching their era be disrespected by modern stars. They hit the mic, the cameras, and the internet, and this time they weren't holding back. Among them was Kwame Brown, the former #1 pick who'd spent years rebuilding his voice after being torn down by critics. His YouTube response went viral, over 500,000 views in days. And he didn't just defend MJ, he called out the entire culture of casual disrespect. What came next would ignite the biggest clash of eras the NBA had seen in years, a straight-up storm of pride, legacy, and loyalty. Kwame Brown snapped. He went off on Durant and LeBron with the kind of raw fire only someone from that old-school era could bring. Kevin Durant, he said, that statement was ignorant. Jordan won 3 championships in a row, then lost his father that same summer. He retired in October to play the game his dad loved most. Baseball, you smart idiots. It was pure emotion, loud, honest, and unfiltered. But Brown wasn't done there. He tore into what he called the hypocrisy of Durant and LeBron calling out Jordan's decisions while their own careers were filled with the exact kind of moves that older players still roll their eyes at. He called them road runners, players who ran from tough battles instead of facing them, who built super teams instead of beating them. That one line hit like a gut punch. It wasn't just criticism, it was a full-blown indictment of how the modern NBA works. How loyalty and grit have been traded for comfort and convenience. Then came Gilbert Arenas, the sharp-tongued former Wizard star known for hitting clutch shots and dropping even harder takes. He jumped into the chaos with his own reminder that the world seemed to forget. Jordan didn't just leave the NBA, he was pushed out amid whispers of gambling connections tied to his father's tragedy. Arenas made one thing clear. What Jordan went through wasn't just a career decision, it was a storm of pressure no player today could handle. There were investigations, relentless media heat, and a level of public obsession that today's stars, shielded by PR teams and social media filters, couldn't even imagine. MJ didn't walk away because he was tired, Arenas said. He walked away because the world wouldn't give him space to breathe. And right when the internet thought it had heard it all, Charles Barkley entered the ring. The round mound of rebound never holds back, and this time was no different. With his signature mix of humor and brutal honesty, Barkley aimed straight at the modern super team culture that Durant and LeBron represent. I don't like any guys who join super teams, he declared, shaking his head. If you're that great, go win on your own. That comment hit the timeline like TNT, because coming from Barkley, it wasn't just opinion, it was a challenge. The OG legends weren't just defending Jordan anymore, they were calling out an entire generation of players for losing the fight that made the NBA what it was. Michael didn't join anybody, Barkley said bluntly. He just kept getting his butt kicked and got bigger. You, Kevin, you haven't been successful anywhere else. Everyone knew exactly what he was talking about. The reference was crystal clear. Durant's shocking 2016 decision to join the Golden State Warriors after losing to them in the Western Conference Finals remains one of the most polarizing moves in NBA history. KD joined a team that had just won 73 games, the best regular season record ever. A team that didn't need him to dominate, but became completely unstoppable with him on board. Sure, he grabbed 2 rings and 2 Finals MVPs, but that legitimacy question still follows him like a shadow. Barkley's point hit like a knockout punch. Jordan never took the easy route. He didn't switch sides when things got tough. When the Detroit Pistons bullied him year after year, he didn't beg to join them. He trained harder, got stronger, and crushed them instead. That's what set Jordan apart. And in Barkley's eyes, neither Durant nor LeBron ever truly measured up to that kind of grind. Then came Steve Kerr, now head coach of the Warriors, but once one of Jordan's trusted teammates during Chicago's dynasty years. His past comments suddenly resurfaced and started circulating again, and they couldn't have hit the debate any harder. LeBron's been compared to Michael, Kerr once said. I don't think he's Michael at all. Kobe had the same mindset as Michael, the assassin.
Kevin Durant still has 0 rings, if you ask me, because he basically joined the greatest super team in NBA history just so he can finally win a ring. And when you look at Lee Diddy's rings, he won a Mickey Mouse ring in 2020 and another Mickey Mouse ring in 2012 during the lockout shortened season. He saved his with that 3-pointer, so that leaves him with only 1 ring. And that 1 ring was because of a Draymond Green suspension. So looking at all of that, Kevin and LeBarbie both have no legitimate rings.
That line landed like a dagger. Kerr wasn't dismissing LeBron's greatness. No one was. But he was saying there's a different energy, a different mentality that separates MJ and Kobe from everyone else. That cold, ruthless edge, that killer instinct that doesn't just want to win, it wants to humiliate whoever stands in the way. LeBron, for all his achievements, plays on a different frequency. A leader, a thinker, but not the same predator. And fans could feel that distinction deep down. As clips spread like wildfire, social media exploded again. A Yardbarker poll of over 10,000 fans showed a clear divide. 62% sided with the Jordan loyalists, calling Durant's baseball comment straight up disrespectful. But the numbers told a deeper story. It wasn't about hating LeBron or doubting KD's talent. It was about boundaries. People felt that grief, loss, and personal tragedy shouldn't be turned into casual podcast jokes or viral sound bites. Meanwhile, YouTube became a gold rush of takes and reactions. Titles like Michael Jordan live blasts LeBron and KD for disrespecting him, and MJ and Charles Barkley just destroyed LeBron and KD were everywhere, racking up hundreds of thousands of views, even though Jordan himself hadn't said a word. The hunger for drama was so intense that creators started using AI-generated voices and clipped footage, faking new MJ reactions that never even happened. But behind all that chaos, beneath the noise and the endless commentary, something real was brewing. Because while fans and former players debated who crossed the line, one legendary voice was getting ready to step in. Not with a tweet, not with a rant, but with a story, a real, heartfelt reminder of why Michael Jordan's name still echoes with reverence to this very day. It was the kind of testimony only a man who actually faced Michael Jordan could deliver. Magic Johnson had been quietly watching all the chaos unfold online, the arguments, the clips, the jokes, and finally decided enough was enough. The Lakers icon had something to say, and when Magic talks, the entire basketball world listens. Because Magic understood something the younger generation doesn't always get, this debate was never just about numbers or rings, it was about respect. It was about what it felt like to go head-to-head with Michael Jordan in his prime, to see that look in his eyes and realize you were facing something almost unreal. Magic didn't just watch Jordan, he lived that rivalry. He felt it. And now he was ready to remind everyone exactly what made MJ different from every other player who ever touched a basketball. What makes Magic's voice so powerful is where he stands in basketball history. He wasn't some fan or analyst, he was a rival. These two giants collided on the biggest stage imaginable, the 1991 NBA Finals. That series wasn't just another championship, it was a symbolic passing of the torch. Magic was chasing his 6th ring with the Lakers, while Jordan was still hunting his first. The Bulls took that series 4-1, and right there, the NBA changed forever. Magic's era ended that night and Jordan's era began. Now, more than 3 decades later, Magic wasn't about to let a new generation casually disrespect the man who took the crown from him the hard way. The GOAT debate had always been heated. But this time, it was personal. And here's the thing. When a legend defends another legend, the whole conversation shifts. It hits different. No stat, no meme, no debate can compete with someone who was there. Because when Magic Johnson says, "I've played against the greatest player I've ever seen," that's not speculation. That's testimony from the battlefield. He's not talking from clips or secondhand stories. He's talking from bruises, from exhaustion, from staring across the court and realizing you're witnessing something otherworldly. So when Magic stepped up to the mic at InvestFest 2025 in Atlanta for his appearance on the Earn Your Leisure podcast, you could feel it. The air got heavier. The crowd went silent. Everyone knew this wasn't just another celebrity interview. This was history speaking. And when Magic opened his mouth, he didn't hold back. He was about to shut the room down and remind an entire generation why the name Michael Jordan still carries a power that no algorithm, no podcast, and no highlight reel could ever touch. The timing couldn't have been better. With the KD LeBron podcast drama still burning up the internet, Magic Johnson stepped up and showed everyone how real legends talk about each other. When asked the question that's divided basketball for decades, Michael Jordan or LeBron James, Magic didn't blink. It's Michael Jordan, then LeBron, then Kareem. No hesitation, no sugarcoating. But what made his answer legendary wasn't just who he picked, it was why. Magic didn't spit stats, he told a story. He brought the crowd back to Game 2 of the 1991 Finals, when MJ did the impossible. "Listen," Magic said, his voice thick with awe. "We thought we had him. Right hand up, then midair. He switched to his left, tongue out, glass, bucket. Nobody alive can do that." The crowd went wild because everyone knew exactly the play he meant. The moment MJ defied gravity, humiliated the Lakers' defense, and changed basketball forever.
You know where that tongue coming over. It's the problem.
He about to do something. Boy, that dude came out that timeout. He scored about 4 straight threes. Ooh. And I went, oh, man. So he stole the basketball. He coming down the right side. He takes off. David Robinson coming this way. So Mike just cuffed. And he just looked at
In the air.
And he kept looking. He kept looking. He kept looking. He went all the way down, Jack. He did a 360. Bam!
Done.
I said, that's it. That's it. It's over.
That's him.
It's over now.
The league wasn't like that.
You know what?
Y'all wanted to compete.
Yeah, I wasn't a guy like that.
Yeah.
I never wanted to play with nobody but my dudes.
Yeah.
I was good. And I've always been a dude, wherever I end up,
Jordan averaged 31 points on 56% shooting that series, including a perfect 13 for 13 stretch. But Magic wasn't just talking numbers. He was talking aura. He'd seen greatness his whole life, but this was different. And even while praising Jordan, Magic kept it classy. "LeBron's a bad boy too," he said, "but he's not Michael." It wasn't hate, it was respect. From one legend to another. A reminder that when Magic Johnson calls you the greatest, he's speaking from the court, not the comments section. For Magic Johnson, the difference between Michael Jordan and everyone else was crystal clear. He wasn't saying LeBron wasn't great. He was saying Jordan was something beyond greatness. When you combine dominance, clutch moments, cultural impact, and that perfect finals record, MJ simply sits on a higher tier. LeBron's legacy is legendary, but it's a different legacy. Magic proved it again on All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. He told a story from the 1992 Dream Team that said it all. During a scrimmage, Jordan turned up the intensity and started taking over, embarrassing everyone, even Magic himself. It was so unreal that Magic had to physically act it out during the interview, laughing as he remembered the moment that changed his perspective forever. After that practice, Magic said 4 words that sealed the truth for every legend in the gym. "We all bow down." That was the moment the torch officially passed. Even the great Magic Johnson, 5-time champ, 3-time MVP, admitted that Jordan had reached a level no one could touch. And that's exactly why the KD and LeBron podcast moment hit older players so hard. For them, it wasn't just about debate, it was about forgetting the man even legends had to bow down to. Because in their world, the world of Magic, Bird, and Barkley, you didn't joke about the man who made everyone bow down. You didn't laugh about his pain, and you didn't mock his story. You showed respect. Because in their time, respect wasn't demanded. It was earned through dominance, and nobody, absolutely nobody, dominated like Michael Jordan. The moment Magic's comments hit the internet, the reaction was instant. Clips from his Earn Your Leisure appearance exploded online, flooding feeds across YouTube, TikTok, and X. Millions of views poured in within hours. Even Bleacher Report and Lakers Nation jumped on the story, pointing out that Magic's words carried serious weight. He wasn't just Jordan's rival, he was also LeBron's boss during his early LA years. But this went deeper than any simple GOAT debate. Magic's speech turned into a generational statement about values, about the meaning of competition, loyalty, and what it really means to earn your place in basketball history. When Magic spoke about never wanting to join other stars, about facing the best instead of teaming up with them, it wasn't just nostalgia. It was a shot fired at the modern super team era. He was saying that the heart, grit, and hunger that fueled his generation, the same fire that pushed Jordan to greatness through adversity, not alliances, was fading away. By defending MJ, Magic wasn't just backing a friend, he was defending an entire philosophy of basketball, a belief that greatness comes from struggle, not shortcuts. As weeks passed and the debate raged on, one truth became clearer than ever. This was no longer about a single podcast comment or one awkward laugh. It was about legacy, about whether the legends who built the game deserve more than casual disrespect from those who inherited their spotlight. Magic's stance was firm and final. His words reminded everyone why Michael Jordan's name still towers over the sport decades after his last championship. Because Jordan didn't just win, he redefined what winning meant. The GOAT debate will never truly end. And maybe that's the beauty of it. But when a man like Magic Johnson, someone who faced Jordan, bled against him, lost to him, and bowed down to his greatness, says no one will ever touch what MJ did, that carries the kind of weight no stat sheet can measure. LeBron James and Kevin Durant are all-time greats. Their resumes are historic, their accomplishments undeniable. But when it comes to Jordan, the ones who were there still speak his name with reverence. They haven't forgotten, and they never will. So what do you think? Did Magic Johnson settle the debate once and for all, or is there still room for argument? Drop your thoughts down below, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and tap one of the videos on your screen for more NBA drama and deep dives. Because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.